In every corner of the world, people dream of becoming something great, of changing their lives and achieving success. Many watch motivational videos, read self-help books, or follow inspiring figures online. But despite all that, so many remain stuck in the same place. You don't need to be the most motivated, just the most consistent. A poet says, motivation is a feeling. Consistency is a decision. Story time. In a quiet town surrounded by green hills, a young man named Ryan lived with the same dream: to become someone extraordinary. Every evening he would scroll through motivational speeches and think, "Tomorrow I'll begin. Tomorrow everything will change." For a while those words filled him with fire. He'd wake up early, study with focus, and plan his future. But after a few days, that fire always faded. He would skip his schedule, scroll through his phone, and promise himself again that next time he'd be serious. Days turned into weeks, and his progress remained invisible. Frustration began to replace excitement. One night, sitting by his window, Ryan whispered, "Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I give up so easily?" The next morning, while walking through the park, he noticed a man about his age jogging every day, rain or shine. His name was Adrian, known in town for his quiet determination. Unlike Ryan, Adrian didn't talk much about success. He simply lived it through his actions. Curious, Ryan approached him one morning and asked, "How do you keep doing this every single day? Don't you ever lose motivation?" Adrian smiled faintly. "I don't depend on motivation," he said. "I depend on something stronger." Ryan tilted his head. "What's stronger than motivation?" Adrian looked toward the rising sun and replied softly, "Discipline. Meet me tomorrow at dawn. I'll show you why." That sentence lingered in Ryan's mind all night. Something told him this meeting could change everything. The next morning, the sky was still dark when Ryan woke up. A cool breeze brushed against his face as he made his way toward the edge of town, where the river shimmered under the first hint of sunrise. Adrian was already there, standing quietly beside an elderly man mending his fishing net. "Ryan," Adrian said with a calm smile, "this is Mr. Walter, a fisherman who's been coming here every single morning for the past 40 years. The old man looked up, his weathered hands strong yet gentle. "You're early, boy. That's a good start," he said, chuckling softly. Ryan watched as Mr. Walter threw his net into the water, patiently waiting as ripples spread across the surface. Minutes passed, then 10, then 20. Not a single fish was caught. Still, the old man didn't frown, didn't complain. Finally, Ryan asked, "Don't you ever get tired of this? What if you don't catch anything?" The fisherman's eyes glimmered like the sunrise. "I've learned not to rely on the day's luck," he said. "Some days are full, some are empty, but I still come, because showing up is the real success." Ryan fell silent. Adrian added, "That's what I meant yesterday. Motivation makes you start, but discipline makes you continue. Most people wait to feel ready before acting, and that's why they never change." As the sun slowly rose above the water, painting the river in gold, something inside Ryan began to shift. He realized he'd been chasing the feeling of motivation instead of building the habit of discipline. For the first time, he understood that real growth isn't about doing things when you feel inspired. It's about doing them even when you don't. The following morning, Ryan returned to the river again, this time without Adrian's reminder. The air was cool, and the water glowed under soft sunlight. Mr. Walter was already there, his hands moving gracefully as he fixed his net. When Ryan greeted him, the old man smiled and said, "You came again. That's a good sign." Ryan sat beside him and asked, "Yesterday, you told me about showing up every day, but what keeps you going when nothing changes? When your hard work feels useless?" Mr. Walter chuckled and pointed toward a cluster of tall bamboo trees near the shore. "Do you see those?" he asked. Ryan nodded. "Let me tell you something," the fisherman continued. "A farmer once planted a bamboo seed. Every day he watered it, cared for it, and gave it sunlight. 1 year passed. Nothing happened. The second year, still nothing. 3 years, 4 years. Everyone mocked him for wasting his time. But in the 5th year, The old man paused, his eyes soft but firm. In just 6 weeks, that bamboo grew almost 90 feet tall. Ryan's eyes widened. That fast? Yes, Mr. Walter said. But for all those years, it wasn't idle. Beneath the soil, its roots were spreading deep and strong. Without those roots, it couldn't have stood tall. Ryan stared at the bamboo grove, understanding the message hidden within. So you're saying discipline is like those roots? He asked quietly. Exactly, said the old man. You won't always see the results of your effort. But every day you show up, you grow stronger beneath the surface. A calm silence filled the air. The wind rustled through the bamboo, as if whispering its agreement. Ryan knew. That story wasn't about bamboo. It was about him. From that day onward, Ryan's life began to shift. Not suddenly, but slowly, like dawn pushing back the night. Every morning he woke before sunrise, the sound of the river still in his mind. He stopped waiting for that burst of excitement to move him. Instead, he simply started doing. At first it was hard. His bed felt warmer than ever. His body begged for rest, and his mind whispered excuses. But each time, Ryan remembered the fisherman's words. Show up, even when you don't feel like it. He began with small steps, studying at the same hour every day, exercising even when he was tired, helping his parents without being asked. Some days felt like progress, others like failure. But he didn't stop. Slowly, his habits began to shape his days, and his days began to shape his character. Adrian noticed the change too. One afternoon, as they walked along the same riverbank, he smiled and said, You've become quieter lately. Ryan chuckled. I think I've started listening more than talking. Adrian nodded approvingly. That's the first sign of growth. As weeks passed, Ryan felt something new. Not the short-lived rush of motivation, but a calm sense of control, the kind that doesn't fade. He no longer needed to watch videos or read quotes to feel inspired. His actions were his motivation now. One night, he looked at his reflection in the mirror and realized he was no longer the same person who kept waiting for tomorrow. He had become someone who acted today. And for the first time in a long while, Ryan didn't just believe in success, he lived it. One morning, as he jogged through the foggy park, he passed a group of young students talking excitedly about their dreams. One of them turned to Ryan and said, Hey, aren't you the guy who used to say you'd start tomorrow? Ryan laughed softly. Maybe I was, he replied, but I realized tomorrow never comes unless you bring it yourself. That day, he visited Mr. Walter again by the river. The old fisherman was casting his net, just as he always did. Ryan helped him pull it in. Strong, steady, and calm. Mr. Walter looked at him with a proud smile. You've changed, boy. Your eyes, they don't search anymore. They know. I finally understand what you meant, he said. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the flame that never dies. The old man chuckled. Then you've learned the most important lesson of all. Success isn't about how fast you run. It's about how long you can keep walking when the road gets tough. As Ryan looked over the still river, he realized how peaceful he felt. His life wasn't louder now. It was calmer, stronger, and full of purpose. He had become the bamboo, rooted, patient, and quietly growing. Years rolled by, and the town changed. Now others came to him with the same questions he once asked Adrian and Mr. Walter. How do you stay so consistent? Don't you ever lose interest? What's your secret? Ryan would smile gently, remembering the river, the bamboo, and the lessons that shaped him. He would reply, There is no secret, just one truth. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. It's not about how much you do in one day. It's about what you choose to do every day. One evening, Ryan visited the river again. Mr. Walter was older now, his hair completely white, but his eyes still carried that spark of peace. They sat quietly, watching the sunset reflect on the water. Do you remember the first time I brought you here? The old man asked. Ryan smiled. Yes, I didn't understand anything back then. And now? Ryan took a deep breath and said, Now I know. True success isn't built in a day. It's built in the silence of discipline, the patience of failure, and the courage to keep going. The old man nodded. Then you've become your own teacher. As the last light faded, Ryan stood looking toward the horizon, calm, confident, and grateful. He knew his story was just beginning, and somewhere out there, someone else was waiting to learn the same lesson he once did. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring stories.